This is The Truth, and this is 20 East Media Network LLC production. All rights reserved. Welcome to The Truth TV. This is Open Mic Night. We're going to talk about a whole lot of different things. How is everybody doing? Did y'all miss me? Respect to Edward, I don't know who you are. Respect to you new. Respect to everybody else that's going to come in here and listen, watch. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell, okay? And happy birthday to my friend, my great friend, Armando Black. Respect to you, my brother. Okay, let's get down to it. Y'all ready for this? What would y'all say? What would y'all say if I told you that a little boy unalive himself because of bullying? What would you say if I said that? Who would bully a little boy? Who would bully an 11-year-old boy? Who would bully him? I'm gonna tell you who would bully him. Just think about this. A 5th grade teacher relentlessly bully an 11-year-old boy for months, and Florida school board take no action to stop it before he took his own life. And the family got a wrongful death lawsuit in, allegedly. The mother and the father, they did everything they supposed to did right. They did everything they supposed to did right. Then that's why I keep saying all this stuff goes on in these schools. What are schools for? What are these schools for? Respect me, girl. What are these schools for? These schools are not for our children. They're not teaching nothing. What are they really teaching our kids in school? What are they really teaching? They are not teaching nothing. They are not teaching a doggone thing in these schools. Especially when you got a teacher like this in Florida. just like this teacher, the fifth grade teacher who relentlessly bullied this 11-year-old boy, who got tired of it and unalived himself. What's wrong with these teachers? Let me keep reading. This per the Atlanta Black Star. Parents of a young boy who unalived himself 2 years ago are suing a Florida school board allegedly board member did nothing to stop a fifth grade teacher who mercilessly bullied the child and encouraged his classmates to do the same. Miguel, this was a teacher that did this. Bullied this kid for 2 years. Bullied this kid for 2 years. The principal, the assistant principal, none of the teachers, the school board, the superintendent, nobody did nothing to stop it. Nobody did nothing to stop it. According to Acola News and WCJB, parents of Johnson and Louis Johnson Jr. filed a complaint against a Maury County school board in a wrongful death suit cited by the news outlet. The Johnson said their 11-year-old son, Louis Johnson III, was constantly, and relentlessly publicly bullied by his teacher. Yes, a teacher. Yes, a teacher. Not no kids, a teacher. Who would encourage his classmate to do the same thing. What's up, BJ? Respect. I'm talking about these school systems, they're not doing nothing. They are not doing nothing. See, they are not doing nothing to help our kids. Bullies, it's bad enough that the kids that go to school with is bullying them, not a teacher. And the teacher is encouraging this classmate to do the same thing. Come on. What is the world coming to? What is the world coming to? I understand some parents cannot keep their kids at home. They cannot homeschool their children because they got to pay bills and stuff. I understand that. But we as a community, we got to get back to community-based, right? We got to get community-based. I mean, girl, you're right. It's a sad thing. It's a sad thing that you cannot confide in an authority figure no more. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad to say. A teacher, I'm going to say this. Sometimes some parents just send their kids to school sometimes school is just a babysitter for some of these parents. But some kids go there, they supposed to learn something. The teacher for be a mentor. See, when I grew up back in the days I grew up, we had teachers that lived around us, that knew the parents. And we got in trouble in school. Guess what? They would have told our parents, and our parents always knew what was going on in school. And them teachers called the other teachers out, and the principal out. It's a shame. In the wrongful death suit cited by the news outlet, the Johnson said, okay. 11-year-old son, Louis Johnson III, was consistently, relentlessly bullied by his teacher, Donna Marie White. Donna Marie White, when he was a student at Legacy Elementary School in Acola, Florida. Yeah, they put a name out there. They better put a name out there and a school name out there. Somebody supposed to step up and help the child. Who's supposed to? I'm asking adults this question right here. Who's supposed to step up to help the children who are being bullied, who are being mistreated in any situation? I don't care, school, home. Who is supposed to step up to help them children? Then the kids are getting bullied at home by the parents. Then they get bullied at school by the teachers and by the students, their classmates. Why do you think so much of this school shootings is going on? Why do you think that is going on nowadays? Because these kids get tired of being bullied. I'm not just talking about black and white. I'm talking about all students. These teachers are not teaching them anything. They are not nothing but robots right now. I'm going to tell you, school is not what it's meant to. It is meant for what it's meant to be. Some kids cannot learn at the speed they are learning. I'm gonna ask y'all, what are y'all learning in school these days? What's up, DJ Q? What are they learning in school these days? They are nothing. They are learning nothing. I be seeing some of these people on TikTok, on YouTube, asking a simple question. Can you name 5 countries? Can you name the continents? And some of these men and women, young men and women, guess what they naming they said Africa is a country. No, Africa is a continent. United States, they said United States is a country. No, United States is a country. But not that North America is the continent. But what are they really learning? Are they learning self-worth? Are they learning how to build on an economic term, how to build a legacy? Are they learning how to build their own economy up? See, that's what we got to get to. Are they learning these things? I don't think they're learning these things. Let's keep reading about this. Let's keep reading about that. What do you think about this? DJ Q, tell me what you think about a teacher bullying an 11-year-old that she teaches in her class, and the 11-year-old unalived herself. What do you think about that? A teacher bullying. The complaint alleges that for 7 months, White engaged in an open, notorious, and proactive pattern of bullying by systematically and chronologically inflicting hurt and or psychological disasters on Louis Johnson III, including but not limited to unwanted and repeated verbal humiliation and insulting behavior, encouraging other students to engage in the same behavior against their son. And we some folks try to wonder, oh, my child don't do that, my child don't do that. Where do you think some of these kids learn this stuff from? It's probably someone from the house. What do that teacher have against that young little boy at 11 years old? What could be so bad that the teacher had to bully that young man to unalive himself? Respect Miguel, thank you for joining me from Korea. Why did that teacher do that? What can a child do to an adult for them to say the thing they do to children? What can adults say to children for the adult to be so mad and so upset with a child that adult got to bully that child? What can an adult say to them? What can an adult say to them? I guarantee there's nothing an adult can say to a child. And we tell children respect the adult. But when is the adult going to respect the child? When the adult going to know his place, that know his place? When is the adult going to know that you here to mentor, to raise the child up and to be respectable adults in society? I don't care what country you live in. I don't care what country you live in. I don't care what city you live in. A child is supposed to look up to an adult. Adult is supposed to rear the child up to become a good, a great adult in himself or herself. That's why I always say, love and respect yourself. Because you see through the BS. Because this is some BS. How is that teacher still being able to teach after the parents went to the principal, went to the school board and said, this teacher is bullying my child? I'll wait. I'll wait. I'll wait. I'll wait to get an answer on that. I'll wait to get an answer on that. But I tell you, we got to start protecting these kids. The kids is our future. If we ever have in a hopes of our children having a future, we got to protect the kids, our children today, in today's time. We got to protect our kids in today's time. Until we start protecting our children, it starts at home. We got to we can teach our children from right from wrong. See, we got to teach our children to respect ourselves as respecting the other person. But also we got to teach them about to give respect, got to get respect. To get respect, got to give respect. But we are not respecting each other. That's good. That's good, man, girl. That's good. Cause respect comes in all forms. Respect comes in all forms. See, sometimes it's not the word that you say, it's the way you say it and how you say it. See, you can go tell a child to go sit, you know what, down, but hey, they may make that child want to push back on you. Because you know how you talk to an adult, how adults talk to each other, and they get pushed back. It's the way how you say things to each other that gives pause. Because guess what? Some of us don't want to take accountability for our own actions. Accountability is saying, hey, I did it. I did it. That was accountability is, saying I did it. But some adults do not want to take accountability. I can understand kids saying, oh, whatever, and not take accountability. They are children. But then again, some children are bluntly and brutal honesty. Brutally is they are really honest about what they say. Like I said, it ain't what you do around kids that get their attention. It's sometimes not what you say around children that get their attention. It's how you do things that get their attention. Am I saying all school is bad? No, all school is not bad. All teachers are not bad teachers. There's some people that should not be teachers at all. Because life lessons out here is hard. It throws you a curveball every now and then. Sometimes you gotta be honest with children. Be honest with children, not bullying children. See, I look at that adult, that lady that bullied that young man, and he unalived himself. I look at her as weak. She is weak. Because if you got to bully a child, if you got to do anything to a child, you're a weak individual. You're a weak individual. So what I'm looking at, when people don't stand up for something, they go fall for anything. When are we going to stand up for the children's? When are we going to stand up for children's rights? When are we going to start to stand up for children to get the right education? We're going to start to stand up for children to have a good life, a great life. When is that going to happen? When is that going to happen? I bet some people will say when they watch, make sure you hit that like button. When you watch the replay, when they watch I bet you when they watch this replay again, they're gonna say, "Did you what the way are you talking about?" See, one thing they don't want to teach in school, right? One thing they don't want to teach in school is a real lesson about what's really gone. How can you discover something when it was already discovered? We change things, we change history to fit. People change history to fit their narratives. When we gonna start telling children the truth about the real history that goes on? When are we gonna start tell the truth? The truth is it's hard to say. The truth is here to stay because these kids are smarter. How do kids go through that? I got another story for you. Right? And this guy talking about he want to unallow a child from ringing the doorbell because she was selling candy. Right? When are we going to stand up for what's right? When are we going to stand up for the children? When are we going to have open arms for our kids, the children of our future? That we got to lean on. But sometimes I'm gonna tell you, sometimes some parents of children, I'm tell you what how come some adults cannot take accountability because their parents bail them out too much. Yes, I said it. Parents bail some kids out too much. That's why they don't learn responsibility. They don't learn no accountability for their own actions. That's how I say it. I said it there. But I'm like this. I'm gonna see how. See, I'm gonna go get some quiz questions. We're gonna play a little game here. We're gonna play a little game here. We're gonna play a little game. Right? We're gonna play a little game right here, right quick. And here's another story right here about a teacher. Before I go there, okay. What I tell the teacher did this: gave him a spoon and everything. Any other school teacher who forced student to eat own vomit sends to probation, sparking outrage. What y'all think about that? A teacher, a former Indiana elementary school teacher who forced a special needs student to ingest his own vomit, reached a plea deal earlier this week that will keep her out of prison and out of the classroom. Sarah Seymour, a former life skills teacher at Brown Elementary School in Brownfield, Indiana, was sentenced after she pleaded guilty to one kind of neglect of a dependent, a misdemeanor, in exchange for her plea. The court dismissed a district charge of failure to make a report. This case attracted national attention and widespread review. She gave him a spoon and everything, wrote one social media user. In February 2023, Seymour had told the 7-year-old victim he would have to eat whatever he grew up. The child indeed vomited, at which point Deborah Knipp, a teacher aide, provided the child with a spoon. The parent, okay, she wouldn't be part of her. She won't be part of her plea deal. Requires Seymour to surrender her teacher license to the Indiana Department of Education. The state doesn't want her to work in any direct service position with anyone under the age of 18. What's up? Respect, Rob. The state also recommended that she remain at home between the hours of 10 p.m. and 5 a.m. A non-contact with the victim order remain in effect. The incident was reportedly captured on video per WXIN TV, which noted that 3 other staff members were involved or witnessed incident. None of those individuals chose to report what happened to administrators. Like I said, what are we? Who is going to protect our kids in school? Another teacher making making see what kind of student was, or what kind of student was, or a special needs student to eat his own vomit. To eat his own vomit. Another teacher provided the spoon. This is sad. This is sad. This is very sad. What are we going to do? How are we going to? Do we have to start homeschooling our? Should they start homeschooling our kids? Respect together. Are we going to have to start homeschooling our kids? Because we got one teacher in Florida that bullied an 11-year-old boy until he unalived himself. Then we got a teacher in Indiana and a teacher's aide making a special need child eat his own vomit. And the school board, the principal, they ain't doing jack nothing. We got to sue the school for anything. You right about that together. Because somebody, look, it's bad enough that some of these children that come from these homes that the parents really don't give a, you know what, it's not helping the children. But when they get to school, the teacher not doing this, not helping the kids either. They want to bully the kid. They want to make the child eat his own vomit. They want to do some crazy stuff. They want to have SEZ with the children. I'm talking to men and women. I want to see a show of hands. I want to see a show of hands of flames, whatever. I'm going to ask you a serious question. No, not flame, change my mind. One, one, put a one in the chat. You think the school is teaching our children anything? Put a two in the chat if you think if you think the school is not teaching our children anything. What do you think? What is so hard about teaching children? If you don't like, if you can't muster, if you cannot control your urges, your contempt, whatever you thinking in your brain to teach at a school, do not become a teacher. Don't become a teacher. See, I'm like this right here. If some of them teachers got kids at home and they teach the children at school like that, just imagine what the kids at their house going through. Just think what they children at their house are going through. It's sad, but it's real. It's sad, but it's real. Like I said, you got them teachers out there going above and beyond the call of their teaching duties to make sure the kid succeeds. There's some teachers, and there's some parents going on above and beyond to make sure their children succeed. But you always got those ones that's not going to go above and beyond for them children to succeed. Okay, you be safe together. Get where you go on safely. Cause I'm like this right here. Together, remember, y'all know I got I'm gonna say 14, 15-year-old niece, right? I swim the deepest ocean for her. Right? Let me find out the teachers is saying something inappropriate. I don't care sex. I don't care trying to humiliate her. I don't care harassing her, bullying her. Let me find out. It's over said and done. See, the teacher's already on the page. They already on the page. So I said, if you can homeschool your children, your children, would you do it? Would you do it? I'm passionate about children. I want them to learn the right way. Some of the stuff they learn in school, what they gonna learn? Some of the stuff they are teaching in school. I ain't talking about just preschool, Head Start, kindergarten, first grade through 12th grade. I taught through college. Some of the stuff they are studying or they are learning, when are they going to learn it? When are they going to use it in the real world? When are they going to learn it in the real world? You got to go to school to learn how to add and subtract? No, I can teach. I started teaching my niece, when she was almost 1 year old, how to add and subtract. Don't need to learn that in school. You can teach that at home with flashcards, whatever. How to say ABC? Yeah, I can teach that at the home. How to teach a child how to say the ABCs. I can teach them how to spell at home. I can teach them how to write at home. I can teach them the real history at home. Because guess what? Because guess what? Do the research. Everybody say, "Oh, I sent my kids to private school." Yeah, private school is no better. I'm gonna tell you why. I got a story for that about that one. I got a story about that one. Right? Private school is no better. And this private school take place. Let's see. This takes place. This is a Catholic school. This is a Catholic school, right? Hold on, let me get to the story. This is the story I give per Atlanta Black Star. Simply ludicrous. An Oregon school called cops on black couple who demanded action after son was allegedly called the N-word. Then school leader expelled boy, sparking backlash. Now, we always tell our children to come tell us if anything going to school that they see going on in school. Come tell us, right? And we go confront the principal, whatever, and she had like nonchalant, like, oh, okay, we'll handle it, whatever. But then also call the cops on the parents because they're concerned about what they saw and heard and who said it. And then they spell, and then that situation sparked a backlash for a whole lot of different parents who withdrew their kids from that school and are going to withdraw their kids from that school next year. So think about it. That's a Catholic private school. Who do we trust in the school system? See, I would want a parent to fight for me. I would want my mom or dad to fight for me. I want the parent to fight for them, especially if the child is doing what they're supposed to do in this godforsaken school, Department of Education system that they got going. I would want the parent to stand up for the children, for their child in that school. Because you know what? It takes so much for a child to come tell you what's going on in their life in these schools that bother them. Because sometimes they feel like there's nobody there to protect them, that nobody will listen to them, that nobody will believe them. See, you got to believe a child to see if they were wrong. How many times a child's going to lie to you that somebody messing with them? How many times a child going to lie that say that what they saw in school is wrong? How many times a child going to tell you this and that? How many times a child going to open up? But how many times have an adult dismissed the child for what they said? How many times had a child been dismissed for what he has said or what they said? How many times have you dismissed a child? How many times have you sat down with your child or your niece, your nephew, and the children as how you doing in school? How many times have you sat down with your niece and nephew or your son and daughter, ask them, how's everything in school? Anybody bother you? Anybody bother you? Is the teacher good? The principal good? You know, bound they're going to say, "Oh, everything good, everything okay." Then everything goes on in school. About a day later, they want to say they want to send an email home. This happened in school. Why you sending me an email? This happened in school, and it's 3 days later. Why? And we wonder why these school shootings be going on. Because nobody hearing these kids. Nobody hearing nobody really listens to these children, what they saying. They see, again, you can listen, but you might not be hearing. You can hear, but might not be listening. You gotta listen and hear at the same time what these kids are saying. I'm gonna let that sink in for a minute. Do y'all hear the passion in my voice about our children? Whitney Houston said it best. She said she believes the children are our future. Let them lead the way. How are we gonna how many adults believe our children are our future? When they start to speak out, there's some people want to shut them up. When our young people want to speak out, the government try to shut them up. I don't know what's really going on, but this been on my heart for a while. I ain't been on here in a while, so I got to get this in. I got to get this out. This is crazy. How are we as a community, as a people, as people, how are we going to do things? How are we going to have the children of our future have our back if we're not teaching the right thing and the right lesson? I'll wait.
Welcome to D Troop's Open Mic Night. Come on in, make yourself comfortable. And please do not forget to hit that like button. Thank you and enjoy the show.
Yeah, I had to put that in there. Open mic night tonight. So we are here having fun. You're here having fun. I'm gonna take a little break right here. I'm trying to find some fun surgery, whatever. But I got more where all this came from. I got more where all this came from. So we are in a time of desperate times. I don't care who you root for, who you will for or against. Because we gotta take a look at ourselves sometimes. How things unfold. How things unfold. We gotta look at that for a minute, okay? I'll be right back. This is The Truth, and this is 20 East Media Network LLC production. All rights reserved. rights reserved. I'm back. How's everybody doing tonight? The Raining and Thunder Night, and I'm doing the show While Thunder and Lightning. Okay. So, and hey, go check out Mama Dearest. I'm telling you another thing that probably get some of these parents put in these homes. I'm saying what probably get these some of these parents put in these homes. Way they treat their child when they was younger, right? They make them don't want to do nothing for them. Don't want to keep them. Don't want to take care of them themselves. That's what I look at. That's what I see. That's what I think. That's my opinion. Allegedly, that's my opinion. That some when kids get older, their parents get older. And the way the parents treated the kids while they were little, give them pause about their parents. Don't want to keep the parents at the house. Don't want to take care of their parents. Don't want to spend time with their parents. So I tell you, it's crazy. And I'm telling you, some people gonna get what they're gonna get what it got coming to them, right? They're gonna get what it got coming to them. And what I see is in this society, what's going on. Everybody, some people act like they're lost their every loving mind when it comes to things. There's some people that think they better than others. There's white thinks they better than black. Black think they're better than white. There's black think they're better than other blacks. White think, so on and so on. And the kids and the children sees it. They picks it up. And you wonder what some of these adults gets it from. They see it when they were younger and they continue it. It's a culture out there that does that. Until we change the culture of all these people, the culture of all these countries to respect one another, until we start respecting one another, nothing's going to get better. What's going to get better until we start respecting each other opinion, without using the derogatory slang words to hurl at each other? When are we going to learn? When are we going to start respecting people's business, what they do? When are we going to respect our children? Because I'm going to tell you this right here. Don't you know in the state of Georgia, you can get locked up for doing all the custody from a child? I don't know about other states. You can get locked up for cussing in front of a child. Although it's a freedom of speech, but yet, do a child need to be hearing all these cuss words? Do the child need to be set up? That's what children. That's children now. They know more about rap lyrics and other stuff than they do about the real story. That's what kids don't know how to add and subtract. And there was a story. I think I did a story about this girl sued this school because she graduated. She know how to read or write. I'm see can I find that story for you. See can I find that story for you. See can I find that story for you. I'm see can I find that story for you. Y'all asking how can a child graduate, go all the way to school without knowing how to read or write? Straight Nate. I want y'all to see can y'all I'm gonna see what y'all think about this. The churches ain't no better. This per Atlanta Black Star, right? I'm gonna read you this story. Stop lying on God's grace. Pastor's wife slammed for ironing husband clothes so he could go cheat with side chick in peace, hoping one day he would love her again. Think about that. A pastor's wife ironed clothes so he could hook up with his side chick, hoping one day he would love her again. I'm gonna stop right there. How many of y'all, men or women, will help your wife or your husband get their clothes together and go to see their side dude or side chick? How many would y'all do that? How many would y'all do that? I wouldn't. Lord knows I wouldn't. And you for be a man of God. You for be a woman of God. And you for be preaching about salvation and all that stuff, but yet you go and cheat on your wife that you for been committed to. That you got married to under the law and to the higher power above. Another couple is causing mayhem on the internet. Founder and senior pastor of Kingdom Church in Phoenix, Arizona, Reginald Steele, and his wife, Kelly Steele, are airing out their dirty laundry on their marriage. The two were guests on the April 9th episode of Dear Future Wifey podcast where they discussed the hardship of their marriage and how their relationship with God brought them through. Yeah, listen to this now. Listen to this. The couple who had been married for 32 years were high school sweethearts, but from the beginning, infidelity became a huge strain in their relationship. Red flag number one, infidelity at the beginning of the relationship. And she stayed with him. Reginald was a Rolling Stone for years, but according to the two of them, he was honest with Kelly about it, and Kelly agreed to stick around under one condition. Under one condition, she agreed to stick around. For under one condition. Guess what the one condition was, folks? Guess what the one condition was? Guess what the one condition was? Get what the one condition was. She said she was okay with it as long as she was first. Hold up. Hold on. Okay. You're okay with him going cheating on you, doing infidelity thing with other women, doing things with other women, as long as you came first. How in the world you gonna come first when you're not coming first when he out with another woman? Put it that way. Same thing with men. Men, you are not coming first if she out there with another man. Somebody help me explain that. Somebody help me explain that. How are you first when your mate is out there cheating on you? And you allowing it? How are you first when you are allowing it? She goes on and said, there's a reason for that. I want the women to know out there, I didn't know Jesus. I didn't know who I was. She then told Reginald to recite what he used to tell her early in their relationship. See, you didn't know who you was. See, if you didn't know who you was, you didn't have to know Jesus to know who you was. You didn't have to know Jesus to know your self-worth. You didn't know how to know Jesus to know your own value. Everybody think you got to know Jesus, know your own value, your own self-worth. Your self-worth, your self-value. See, I look like this, women and men like that, like she was, like she is. They will always love and respect yourself. You see, through all, if she loved and respect herself, she wouldn't be in that man. I do not feel sorry for women and men that stay in a relationship that they stay in, knowing they are did the way they did. It makes excuses for the person that doing it to them. And this is what he said. He said he would tell her you had no value and no worth. You did not know who you were. The pastor would also tell his dear girlfriend, you are my starter, but I got others ones on the bench. I'm gonna let that sink in. He told her that she was the starter, but he got others on the bench. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. It's all about accountability and respect. Loving and respecting yourself. This is what it's about. She didn't respect or love herself. Then she goes on. Kelly said she explained that it was that she was witnessing in her own home that made her stick around in her own situation. She claimed her mother left her father due to infidelity, but Kelly believed that her mother forgiving her father, they all would have been able to be together as a family. See, that's a psychological thinking right there. That's a sickening thinking. Your mother did what was right for her, with herself. Your mother said that if your mother said, hey, I can't deal with this infidelity, you've been with other women. See, and then on top of that, being with your mother said, I can't deal with you. You told your father, I can't deal with you if you're going to be with other women. Why not get another woman pregnant? Why not catching the Z? Because don't tell him who the other women that he was sleeping with. So you just want to do the opposite of what your mother did. But your mother showed you how strong a woman she was when she left your father. See, So some women are disillusional sometimes to stay in that relationship. Some men are disillusional to stay in a relationship because some in our reason to stay in a relationship. Think that they can't find no other. Let me go on. And think how you keep your family together. Okay. They go ahead and say it. The summer before they were headed out to college, Kelly discovered she was pregnant. The problem was she had a full scholarship to go to college for classical piano, but after calling Reginald to tell him the news, she learned that he had been going to church and had given his life to Jesus. He convinced her to keep the baby and move back home where he would help her. Lord have mercy. You tell me. He told you that he found Jesus. He told you to keep the baby and come back home. He'll take care of you. And you did it. Yeah, you did it. See, he manipulated her and doing what he wanted her to do. He manipulated her to stay in that relationship. See, she want to say and want to call it the high power Jesus. No, that Jesus wouldn't want you to stay in an infidelity relationship like that. Well, I don't think so. And she had a full scholarship to go study classical piano. And she didn't go. When I found out I was pregnant before we got married, see, before you got married, you got pregnant. So, in other words, he was able to see other women, but you wouldn't try to see other men. Allegedly. She said she ended up getting kicked out of her house by her parents. They were very upset by me. So Kelly moved in with Reginald and his parents. I don't blame him. You let that boy, that so-called man, convince you to keep the baby and not go to college. You convinced that man to have sex with you while he was out there fucking having sex with other women. And I guarantee your parents kept telling you, that man is no good. But yet you were so in love, boy, they pushed for you to leave him, the more close you came to him. And this would be a happy ending story at that. The two eventually got married on March 13, 1993. They had already had their first son, who was 11 months old, and Kelly was pregnant with the second a few months after the two committed to each other. Reginald had a realization that would take their marriage down a dark path before he even got a real chance to start. He told her, I never had fun. Kelly said he left this holy lifestyle back to smoking weed, drinking, chasing women. We would fight. Our house became the party house. She said that marriage had got so bad to the point where she would be chasing him with knives, jumping on hoods of cars, and fighting women. At the time, they lived in a government subsidized house, and she realized that someone would either get hurt or go to jail. So she attempted to leave. How many go watch it play back? Believe she attempted to leave. Kelly said her aunt had secured a job for her in Virginia, but as she was prepared to leave with her two children, she couldn't bring herself to do it. Kelly said she cried but had a dream the same night. Okay. You had a dream the same night? See, you didn't want to leave. You want to go back in that toxicity. You're right. We cannot judge. Well, I don't know. But we together, we both can agree on it. Jesus didn't have nothing to do with it. Because Jesus in the high power is not author of confusion. No author of confusion. She said she attempted to leave, right? And her aunt has secured her a job in Virginia. I'm gonna live say she really didn't want to leave him. She wanted to keep the family together because she stayed with him through all of that. And her mother, hey, sometimes you gotta go through hard times, but don't put it on Jesus. She said she went to bed that night and had a dream of him preaching. She said when he got home and 3 days later, not only was he mad that she did not follow through with leaving him, but he also shut down her dream of his future. He said, that means I got to be disciplined and committed, and I'm not trying to be either one. Recalling the moment Kelly added, and he said, I'm going to keep smoking this weed and chasing these women. That's what he told her. Then it goes on and said, just days after that, Reginald left again. Kelly said she had a moment where she felt like she was going crazy. She said she heard the enemy spewing hateful thoughts in her mind, like you should die, you're not worthy, or anything you should even end your life. He'll never love you. But in that moment, Kelly called one name, Jesus, and she felt arms wrapped around her. No, you didn't. You ain't feeling arms wrapped around her, behind you. See, that's a political correct thing to say, because he became a pastor. That's a political correct thing to say when you're on a podcast. That's a correct thing to say when you got people listening. But you knew he was doing all these types of things, running around on you and all this, whatever. You got 2 kids, so you got 2 kids by. I don't know why you stayed in that relationship. You wanted to make it work. So it's working. But hey, more power to you. More power to you. Okay. She said she had a radical heart shift from that moment. She said she got her word. Under her word, I just completely changed as a person. With her newfound relationship with Christ, Kelly said she was able to ignore a lot of turmoil in her marriage that she couldn't ignore before. So if he would call me out of my name, it wouldn't bother me. Oh, you said it would bother you? Yes, it would. It'll bother you. It'll bother you, but not as much. She said, and although he would go out on weekends, I would literally help him get ready to go meet a side chick by adding his clothes and getting him ready for the night. And these are all the things I would grace to do. I would not encourage anybody to do that unless you are graced by God to do this. Guess what? Even if a person was graced by God, they wouldn't do it anyway, because they know their self-worth. Because if you were graced by God, you know your self-worth, and you would have stayed in that relationship. No matter, it don't matter what the reason is to stay in a relationship. You were graced by God. If you were graced by God, because God, for you want to say, God is not author of confusion when it comes to that. Right? She said she endured all this because I didn't want him to be lost. I want him to be in his home, in his purpose, because of that one dream I had that lasted about 2 seconds. Hold on, a dream that lasted 2 seconds. You want him to be in his own purpose. Guess what? You cannot force him. I'm going to tell y'all people something. You can't force nobody to be their own purpose until they want to be in their own purpose themselves. See, you forcing him to be in his own purpose by still being there. He didn't want to be in his purpose. He showed you who he was at that time, and you still stayed. But yet you want to put it on Jesus. Yeah, I know people change, but I'm tired of people using Jesus, God, as an excuse why they stay, why things happen where they happen. I'm tired of them using that as an excuse. And I guarantee you, her mother and people in her family told her that man was no good for her, that she needed to get away from her, and she didn't listen. And guess what? She got what she got. But she stayed in a relationship, trying to prove her mother wrong and her family wrong about that man. Now, you know how some people get they want to try to prove somebody wrong. Then this goes to Regiment 53 corroborated her story by claiming he saw a vast difference in Kelly's behavior after having her encounter with God. He said he saw his wife go from bleaching his clothes and throwing his toothbrush in the toilet and asking him what he wanted for dinner. One person said, I would have been ironing his suit for his funeral. Another person wrote, stop lying on God's grace. It was your desperation and stupidity that made you do it. Yeah. Yeah. See, that's why I keep telling there's some women out here think they are not good enough to find another man. That's men out here think they not good enough to find another woman. Which I'm gonna tell you, brothers and sisters, don't care what skin tone you are good enough to find somebody else that that's loved you for you, and y'all jail with each other. Okay. And then another person said God gave you grace is disgraceful. God does not condone cheating. Little does she know the devil graced her. Shaking my head, said another. Despite Reginald's initial spur with the ministry, Kelly Dream did end up coming to fruition. In January, he celebrated pastoring for 20 years with his family. He and Kelly never made the decision to divorce because Reginald, who came from a two-parent household, didn't want anyone else raising his kid. While that was true, his father, who was a pastor for 40 years, was also a ladies' man who had 10 children with 6 different women. Reginald even said that all his brothers were also womanizer. So together, they still have 5 children total. 3 sons and 2 daughters, all through the course of 6 years, 11 months, and 16 days, according to Pastor Steele. They are now grandparents to 5 grandchildren and are waiting to welcome their 6th one in the next few months. Okay. I'm going to say this about that right there. I'm going to say this right there, right here. This is my own opinion. They told this story, and Atlanta Black Star wrote it. All through 6 years of marriage, right? I'm going to say, I don't know why she stayed. I'm not going to try to figure out why she stayed. But all I'm going to say about that is she went through all of that. Talking about jumping on cars and all that stuff like that. There's some people that do that, all young people that do that, women that do that, men that do that. And also just don't do it. It ain't because of God, because it comes to the common sense that gonna lead to one place, locked up in jail or prison. And they just try to realize that the man and woman they doing all that for is not worth it. They find their own self-worth. Sometimes You want to put your action on devil. You want to put your action on God. But guess what? What about putting the action saying, I was wrong, take accountability for what you did and how you did it? That word again, accountability. See, people got to start taking accountability for their own self. Until they start taking accountability for their own self, guess what? It is what it is. I'm about to get off of here. Like I said, like, share, subscribe to this channel, share it out. And I just had to come see y'all. And thank y'all for joining me. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to have something else probably later on. This is what I got to say. People, this goes for children, all the children, men and women. Love and respect yourself. Because when you love and respect yourself, you can see through all the BS. Self-love is the best love. Who can love you better than you love yourself?
This has been a 20 East Media Network LLC presentation. If you have not already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And please like and share this. The following program is a 20 East Media Network LLC presentation. Please hit the like button and enjoy the show. Thank you.
Okay, there we go.
This has been a 20 East Media Network LLC presentation. If you have not already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And please like and share this video. Thank you and have a good day.
And on that note, peace and love. Everybody enjoy the rest of their night. And I might see y'all Monday. Maybe. I don't know. Peace. I'm out.
This is The Truth. And this is 20 East Media Network LLC production. All rights reserved.